It's a special weekend for tech enthusiasts. As you know, National Technology Day is being celebrated this weekend. And well, how can we do a Tech Today episode without one of the most tech-loaded cars in the market? I have with me the BMW iX50. That suffix is important because it's different from the original iX. What's changed in a nutshell? Well, better suspension, better ride quality, faster charging, and most importantly, an increased range. But a lot of changes have been made so that the car becomes more aerodynamic and more comfortable and lighter with perhaps better range. So what are those particular changes? Most importantly, does it pass the Tech Today Tech Check? Well, let's find out. I love how each automaker is now focusing on technology, but every automaker has a different interpretation of what the way forward really is. Mercedes has a very interesting set of tech features with the EQS. Range Rover is really tech-loaded, very refined, but in terms of design, they're going into a reductionist sort of a form. But with BMW, what I find very interesting is that if you're a premium car buyer, they actually believe in something that their consumers probably want. It's called Shy Tech, literally called Shy Tech or stealth technology. No military stuff over here, but what they're trying to do is not be in your face, not be completely belligerent or right out there, being very gaudy about it. Tell you what that really means. Very subtle things which actually work when they're meant to work. So it's not just showy, it's not to show off to anyone, but when it works like a charm. This grille in an electric vehicle, technically, scientifically speaking, isn't needed, right? But they have this intelligent kidney grille. What's the purpose of it? The purpose of it is that they really house all their sensors over here, the camera as well, and it gives you a very bold SUV-like look. It's only when you're taking a U-turn that you realize that this iX50 is a very long car, but it's so sporty, it's so much like an SUV that it's only on the turns when you realize that, okay, it's doing a great job, but it is a heavy and a big car. So you've got that SUV feeling, and the main thing it needs is these 22-inch wheels, which really make the drive sporty and comfortable. You walk to the side of the car, and I think with the iX50, they wanted to increase range, right? Over 600 kilometers is what they're promising. It's definitely improved from the previous lot, and it's really going to take the fight to the Audi Q8 e-tron and also perhaps the EQE from Mercedes and the other EVs in the market. But I'll tell you small things they've done. If you go underbody, everything is sealed, reduces that drag, make sure that it's more aerodynamic. Small things over here as well. You see carbon fiber used here. It looks really good, of course. It makes it look very sporty, but this makes it sturdier and also then works in making the car a lot smoother whenever you're taking it out there as well. It continues till the back because it's got a very subtle design, but what I like about it is that it still looks like an SUV. Let me open up the boot and see what's in store for us over here. Right from the key fob. Okay, a little bit of a disappointment in terms of this spare wheel, which is really put up really well, but if this was down over here, maybe we'd have more space. I think, of course, you can put this down over here, but at this point, if I really wanted to take this with me in this particular situation, I can't fit more than a couple of hand baggages over here. So this would need, well, another arrangement, but this is only the design when we're talking about the iX50. If you come in over here, you see the branding is on the wall, as they say, or here on the side of the car. What's really nice as well is this. Frameless windows, a first. Honestly, already passes the tech and design check. The ambient lighting is so smooth. If you look at these windows right here, it's super, super cool. Also, the doors remind me a little bit of the i7 as well. Not fully powered, but they can adjust right there with the soft touch. The car looks amazing. What does it drive like and what's the tech like on the inside? Well, I have a really interesting thing to tell you. If I walk a little ahead and I want my car to be friendly and to greet me, then all I have to do is walk a little closer, watch what the car does, especially on the front of the car as I get closer to the car. I've come closer to the car. The lights have greeted me. I opened the door with this almost invisible sort of design. And I'm getting in. Let me get you inside. The car's already greeted me. Well, the steering wheel has adjusted to my position. The AC's on. Android Auto and CarPlay, whichever one you prefer, has connected, and so much more happening on the inside. I'll see you in the inside. So yes, after a hard day's night, you want to be greeted by friends and family, and a beast like this one very warmly to get that warm fuzzy feeling. And I think the cockpit and the tech do all of that. If you look at the design, there's several segment firsts, and first for BMW as well in this iX line. You have this electronic door opener, means I don't need to pull that mechanical lever, I can just do it over here. Also, it has a soft close function, so you don't need to smash it, although it is hardcore German door, so you want to hear that thud. What I love about it is they don't call it reductionist or very modern. A very responsive, intuitive infotainment screen, not taking away too much from the cabin. A lot more happening at the back of it. Harman Kardon sound, which does a very good job. Then enough over here in the digital cluster. When I want to change my modes, you can easily come down here with this nice wooden panel finish with these sort of crystal-like volume knobs, and then the gear knob as well. Looks like you're using some form of sapphire over there. It continues with the seat adjust function as well. And when you look at this steering wheel with the flat bottom, it's great for someone who's got long legs. Very sporty as well. But then you have a very reductionist, minimalist sort of utilitarian design. It does what you want it to. Shy tech or stealth tech, like I told you, you have just the cruise control buttons. I have never used cruise control on most of the cars we get for review, but here it's been an absolute joy. It's like you're using, well, a PlayStation joystick right here. One button, it's on, put it up, put it down, it works like a charm. Level 2 ADAS works so seamlessly. You want to use the tech. It's one thing to give those features in a car, and it's another to make it so intuitive, so seamless that you want to use those features, and it's so easy to. Even with cruise control over here, the volume controls as well, the AC, you can use these knobs. You have, of course, no transmission tunnel in the front. That means I can actually come to that side if the car is parked without even really coming out of the car. So I think there's a lot of things that work in this cockpit. Even if you look at this particular button over here, that's not a sunroof. What that essentially is, if you look up, you'll see, is two modes. You have this sort of latency, transparency sort of a mode, and then with opaque, you can shut it all out, and you don't even know that this is not an actual sunroof. It's a panorama roof, like they call it, but it doesn't even open. Honestly, this is how I'd like a future-ready car to be. Very concept-like, but it's there now in the present in 2024 in the iX50. So a lot of things seem to be working for it. You see, your iPhones and a lot of Android devices have moved to the C-type charger. There's a whole bunch of C-type chargers over here, right down over here. Then at the back as well, there's a lot of C-type chargers. Even at the back, if you want to use your tablet or the OnePlus Open in the rear seat, you can place it right there, clip it, and you have a lot of infotainment. Rather than getting a screen from them, use the technology you already have, and then you know that the iX50 is a tech-loaded monster. This has a huge display running from right to left, really at the right angle, so that I don't need to bend my neck to really see what's happening. If you talk about how this screen is split, it's a 12.3-inch instrument panel for the driver and a 14.9-inch central information display. So honestly, there's a lot you can do from these screens, and if you really want to do stuff over here, everything works almost seamlessly. There were a couple of times when Apple CarPlay didn't connect, but I'm not having that issue with Android Auto at all. This is a random playlist playing, so don't judge me with the songs right over there. But this is also, I wanted to show you how you can focus on the music or focus on the maps. Now, obviously, you can say, hey BMW, and activate the personal assistant. It can do things like climate control, music playback, or even tell you about some features about the car. There's also an interesting feature here called BMW Drive Recorder. Now, this is something you've not seen in a lot of the cars we've had on the show. So basically, you can record your scenic drives. Now, of course, this is a nifty feature if you want to show off the scenic route you've been taking, but also as a safety feature, I think this can come in handy if you want to activate all the cameras, which are absolutely spot on. Let me just show you the cameras in this car and you'll understand what I'm saying. You look at that, the 360-degree camera. If you want a panoramic view, this is what the panoramic view looks like. Put it in drive and you can see everything around you in crystal clear 4K quality. You can get a parking assist view There's other views as well, a car wash view, a camera cleaning view. Well, it's cleaning the front and the rear cameras. And just like magic, the front camera is pretty much sorted over there. The car, of course, comes with a massage feature and ventilated seats, but the most important feature in a BMW car, which is tech geek paradise, are the drive modes. You have personal, sport, efficient, expressive, relaxing, and the car is going to work towards making it a pleasant atmosphere. The massage has started, which I do not recommend because I need to continue with this shoot. But if you put the car in sport, you see everything changing. You see how this looks so much sportier, 0 to 100 in what, 4.2 seconds. This is really fast. I'm going to drive right now and tell you a little bit more about the car, but that's the best way to find out. Now, those 22-inch wheels and the adaptive 2-axle air suspension on the car ensure that by the click of this button over here, you can increase the height of the car, level it up or down for Mumbai or Delhi or any of our cities' bumpy roads. That's quite a nifty feature. The car is low riding otherwise, but it's deceptively high when you need it to be as well. This sort of auto leveling really helps. And the only time you realize that the car is quite big and quite long is when you take turns at higher speeds. Very soft suspension, very, very comfortable drive quality, which I'm incredibly impressed with, and a whole lot of power if you want it to be. But the fun part is the drive modes. Like I was saying earlier, you go into efficient, sport, and you'll realize that this is an EV. It doesn't make much noise, but like the i7, this is one of the coolest features. If you want to tune the sound in an EV and give those people that performance vibe, what do? Well, BMW has an interesting way of approaching things. They get in touch with one of the most popular, the most legendary Hollywood music composers, Hans Zimmer, the guy in Interstellar, Inception, and they make this truly a spaceship that maybe even Elon would take notice of. So I've done a lot of radio in the past. I love doing podcasts. I am voice first and then video. Surprisingly, we're doing a video over here. But what I want you to now is shut your eyes and just listen to what Hans Zimmer can do in the BMW when you put it in sports mode. Honestly, spaceship vibes in the BMW iX50. Even Elon Musk would stand up and take notice, especially when you've got your sound tuned by none other than Hans Zimmer. All the tech and fun stuff aside, this is an EV. So one thing that needs to be addressed is range anxiety. BMW's engineering team certainly has been working on this iX50 variant, because if you're talking about range, they claim 635 kilometers on a single charge. You can possibly do that in under 35 minutes. You do it at home, maybe up to 12 hours. But if you have charged this up to 100%, they claim 635 kilometers. If we are testing Hans Zimmer's sound and driving this in sport mode all throughout with the drive that we've been doing, if this gives you anywhere over 450 kilometers or anywhere over even 430 kilometers, it is a game changer for a car which gives you performance, which is incredibly good looking, has all the tech on point, and honestly, barring the storage at the back, I can't really find too many faults with the iX50. I'm smiling because I am visibly impressed with the BMW iX50. BMW, and especially their M-line non-electric, is known for its performance capabilities. A lot of people prefer that over anything. Performance enthusiasts will say BMW is the brand that they enjoy. In the electric space, it's getting incredibly competitive because us tech geeks have gotten involved as well. But this is the perfect mix, I think. The iX50 of practicality, of the fact that it is still a performance-centric car. There's luxury, it's an SUV. Honestly, with the range that this comes in, if you have 1.3 crores to spend, this is the sort of tech you want to see in your premium luxury SUV.